Hey guys, today I'm going to change the CV boot, the inner CV boot, on my Mitsubishi Delica. So what I've done is just remove the wheel. Both my front inner CVs, well there's only CVs on the front anyway, both my inner CV boots are ripped or torn. As you can see, it's separated. So this one only separated a couple of days ago. So what I'm going to do is take it apart and replace it. So first you just got to remove your wheel. That's pretty easy. I have aftermarket wheels, so I didn't use the standard tool. I used a breaker bar and a 21mm socket. All you do is just pop this cap off, take this centerpiece out, a couple of screws, and then just crank the wheel off. You will have to kick the breaker bar or whatever. These bolts won't just come off with brutal arm strength. You really have to kick it. They're pretty freaking hard. Alternatively, you can use a rattle gun, but I don't really like using a rattle gun because I don't know. It can just I just don't really like rattle guns, to be honest. They're a bit dangerous, and yeah, you shouldn't be using a rattle gun with a normal socket anyway. These can shatter, and yeah, you'd have to use a rattle gun socket, which I don't have, so yeah. Anyway, I picked up this constant velocity joint boot kit, or CV boot kit, as it's more commonly known as, from Repco. This kit in particular is model number 100-10017, and this can be picked up for about $14 or $15 from Repco. So it includes the boot, which will obviously go in there, a pack of CV grease. You really use, well you can, but it's not recommended to use normal grease on your CVs. It has a special CV grease, and they're your two little clamps, hose clamp type things for the CV. So yeah, that's $14. The genuine one is $35, so well 22 plus shipping, which equals about 35, close to 35 from Delica shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, apparently following a tutorial, that behind this cap here is some sort of circlip, and once you remove that circlip it pops the shaft out from here, and then all you have to do is undo the bolts at the gaiter, which is those 4 bolts there, which you can just move this axle to get to the other ones if you can't reach them. As you can see, it's a bit tight, but yeah, you can just remove those there, and then hopefully this whole thing couldn't just pop out. If not, then what I'm going to do is pop this off here, pop the other one off. I've got a ball joint, what do you call it, ball joint removal tool, whatever it's called, and I can pop those off. Alternatively, I can just undo it at the nut here, mark it out first, then undo it, rather than having to pop them off. Yeah, there's a couple of ways to do it, but yes. Anyway, what I did was I jacked the car up on the jacking point there with the standard jack, and then what I've got is some axle stands and there's some axle jacking points on the front here, so I've just jacked it up there. It has no load on this jack at the moment. I can take the load right off it if I want to. I've just kept it there just for a bit of a safety measure, just in case my axle stands, as you can see there's no load on this thing, just in case my axle stands decide to give out, I've just got an extra safety measure there. Alright, enough jibber jabbing. So I'm going to take this cap off. I'm pretty sure I have to take all these bolts off to get to it. I'm not sure if that pops off, and I don't really want to try, and hopefully that'll all come out. So yeah, give it a shot. Okie dokie. I popped the cap off. So that cup there just sits on there. What I did was just get a flathead screwdriver behind that lip there and just smacked it off. Didn't take a lot of pressure. Now you can see this little circlip here, this little one there. So what I'm going to do is take that one off and take out those 4 gaiter bolts at the back there. Oops, sorry guys. Take out those 4 gaiter bolts at the back, and hopefully it all slips out. If not, then I'll just have to take it apart. But yeah, hopefully this way is a little bit easier. So yeah. Okay, I've just loosened all those gaiter bolts, There's a bit of a knack to this. If you're having troubles, this is what you're going to do. So first put it in too high and get the bolt you want to take off about here. Then put it in forward drive, so this is locked, it won't move. Then get yourself a ring spanner, a 14mm ring spanner. Whack it on there like so. So it's facing downwards. With your right hand, come in from here and hold this like that so the ring spanner doesn't move. And then with your other hand, get a big heavy hammer, like a ball peen hammer or something like that, and smack it. Now it'll take quite a few hard hits, but then it should come loose. And then they're all loose. And same goes for all the other ones. Whack it in too high, rotate it till the nut you want to take off is there. Put it in forward drive so it's locked, and then undo it. Okay, now I'm going to take off that gator, and hopefully this whole assembly comes out. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, that was a lot easier than I expected. So basically what I did was just undo those 4 bolts, or nuts, sorry, on the gator. Those nuts stay in there. You can't actually, I mean those bolts, sorry, they stay in there. You can't pop them out, which would make it a lot easier. But basically what you do, you undo that circlip that's there, which I just put into here. You just pop that off with a flathead screwdriver. Then what you do, which is a bit tricky, I spent probably 5-10 minutes trying to work it out. What you do is you rotate the hub. So you just get your hands and rotate the hub there, and that'll rotate the gator, because the gator can only come out in a certain way, or else it'll hit those protruding bolts. So what you got to do is just with your hands, just turn the hub slightly and play around with the gator until it drops downwards. It'll roll off to the right side and then drop down, and then you can just wiggle it and it'll drop down in there. There's a washer on here, so don't lose that. That'll stay on there with the grease. But what I'm going to do is wash all this with degreaser. So, and I'm going to wash all that hub out in the parts washer, or I might just spray it with degreaser and clean it all up. And then install a new boot, put new grease in the gator, put new grease in the CV, whack it all back on, and I don't know, might have a coffee and start on the next one. So yeah, that took all of to remove. If I were to do it again, probably take me about 10 minutes, I'd say, to remove that, and then cleaning all up and putting all back together again. I'd say all around it'd probably be about a 2-hour job. So yeah, hopefully the left one is a lot easier, but I've heard it's a lot harder, so we'll soon find out. So I'm just going to clean this up and put it all back together again.